Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of the MiniArt FW-190 D-9 model kit build. Here's where we left off after part 1, and in this episode we're finally moving into the exciting stage, adding the wings and getting some paint on this beast. But first, a few small details. I start with this air intake. Honestly, parts like this are much easier to glue while resting flat on the table instead of trying to fight gravity in mid-air. Once it's ready, I can attach it to the fuselage, and again, the fit is excellent. The lower engine covers actually have interior details molded inside. I'm guessing MiniArt plans to use the same tooling for a future version with an exposed engine, which would honestly be pretty cool. Top cover goes on next, and then it's time for some tiny parts. Now, I really don't enjoy crawling around the floor looking for microscopic plastic pieces, so whenever possible, I like to glue very small parts together while they are still attached to the sprue. Much harder to lose them that way. The wheel well structure looks a bit fragile at first, but once assembled, it's surprisingly solid and packed with detail. Before gluing the wings together, I do a quick test fit and then another one with the upper wing section. At first, I still had a small gap between the parts, and after some investigation I discovered the problem. Leftover plastic from the sprue connection that I forgot to clean up. Tiny mistake, easy fix. Once corrected, everything fits perfectly and I can glue the wings together. Masking tape helps keep all the parts tight while the glue cures. Next come the flaps. Very straightforward assembly here. Same with the ailerons. They fit beautifully, and honestly, I was tempted to glue them on immediately, but since they'll be painted in a different color later, I leave them separate for now to make painting easier. Quick dry fit to the fuselage. And look at this! Huge opening into the gun and turbocharger compartment. Since all of that would be difficult to mask later, I decide to paint the wheel wells now before attaching the wings. And now, wings meet fuselage. The fit here is really nice, only a few tiny gaps, nothing dramatic. Gun cover goes on next, followed by the belly section, and suddenly the whole aircraft starts looking like an actual FW-190. I especially like how MiniArt designed this section because it minimizes seam lines and saves a lot of cleanup work later. For the remaining gaps I use black VMSCA glue, but before applying it I mask around the seam to protect all the surrounding detail. Makes cleanup much easier later. While the glue dries, I move to the canopy. One clever detail here, the lower windshield frame is molded directly into the fuselage instead of the clear part. Nice engineering choice. I first glue the canopy in place and leave the side masking for later. This way I make sure Tamiya cement doesn't get under the tape. To avoid glue fumes fogging up the clear parts, I do not close the canopy yet. If you fully close everything too soon, the evaporating cement can leave a nasty cloudy effect inside the canopy, definitely not something you want after all this work. So while that cures, I move on to the stabilizers. And somewhere during assembly I managed to knock off one of the cannon barrels. Honestly, that made me reconsider keeping them attached during the build. The wing roots get smoothed out with a sanding sponge, and afterward I clean all the fuselage seams from excess glue and plastic. Now guys, let me show you a really quick trick for checking seams. Instead of spraying primer every time, I use an aluminium marker directly over the joint. Instantly reveals imperfections, scratches or spots that still need sanding, much faster than traditional priming. Everything looks good so far, but before continuing with the main airframe, I finished the front engine section. A light grey dry brush over the black base helps bring out all the raised details. The cowling itself is made from 4 separate parts, not entirely sure why, but MiniArt designed clever connection points so each part only fits in one position. Impossible to mix them up. Quick test fit, and yes, fits nicely. Back to the canopy now. I temporarily mount the separate canopy section using masking liquid. This allows me to protect the cockpit during painting, while still being able to remove the canopy later without damage. To be honest, the closed canopy option in this kit isn't great anyway. The clarity is pretty poor. The open canopy version looks better, so I'll definitely display this aircraft with the cockpit open. Now it's time to prepare everything for painting. Wheel was must, tail wheel must, I spray cockpit color onto the inside of the windshield frame, so it looks correct from the interior side. With everything ready, I apply Mr. Surfacer 1500 Grey Primer to prepare the surface. Of course, during sanding, some rivets and panel details disappeared, so now I restore them using a riveting wheel and a needle. For the metallic undercoat, I use Mr. Color C8 silver paint. This will later act as the base layer for paint chipping effects. Now the fun part, colors. I start with the yellow and red tail stripes. Since these colors are difficult to cover later, it's easier to paint them first and mask them afterward. Yellow and red can be notoriously transparent, So first I spray white as a base coat. Then comes yellow, followed by masking with flexible Tamiya tape. And finally, the red stripe. While the red dries, I mask parts of the wings because half of them remain natural metal finish and the silver base already works perfectly for that. Once both colors are masked, I begin spraying the main camouflage. The instructions suggest Mr. Color C26, but personally I think it's way too yellow, so I mix it with RLM02 in roughly a 2:1 ratio. This shade goes onto the underside, fuselage sides and tail section. Then comes the green camouflage. Most of it is painted freehand except around the wing roots where I use masking tape for cleaner transitions. I'm planning to add proper highlights and shadows in the next episode, but since I still had paint left in the airbrush, I lightly spray along the rivet and panel lines to create some initial tonal variation. Next up is the brown camouflage. I didn't have the exact color from Tamiya or Mr. Hobby, but I did have MRP Brown Violet RLM81, so that's what I used. This paint gave me a bit of trouble at first, finding the right thinner ratio took some experimenting, but eventually I got there. The biggest challenge was definitely the fuselage sides. While the rudder and ailerons themselves are painted using a light blue shade from Mr. Color. Those late war Luftwaffe patterns can get pretty wild. With low air pressure and highly diluted paint, I try to replicate the unusual tail markings. On one side there are dots, And apparently on the other side someone decided dots were overrated and switched to lines instead. Late war Luftwaffe logic. And now guys, moment of truth. Let's remove the masking and see what we've got. And honestly, I'm really happy with how this turned out. So that's it for part 2. Next time I'll be working on decals, weathering, usage marks and all the remaining small details that really bring the model to life. Thanks for watching guys, model on and see you in the next one.